The world had gone through World War II, and the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki had shaken all of humanity. People began to think that perhaps no greater destruction was possible. However, in the minds of a few scientists, an even more terrifying concept was brewing: Isadesa San Changontu, a bomb that was many times more powerful than the atomic bomb. This was the hydrogen bomb, also known as the thermonuclear bomb. In the 1950s, the Cold War was ongoing between the United States and the Soviet Union, with both countries wanting to demonstrate their power. In 1952, the United States conducted the world's first hydrogen bomb test, known as Ivy Mike, detonating it in the Marshall Islands. 8765432 765 Substitute this T0. The bomb was so powerful that it changed the landscape of the area where it was detonated. This bomb was 10,000 times more powerful than a regular atomic bomb. Not only the sound of the explosion, but the radioactive poison that spread afterward contaminated the air, water, and soil. The question is, what is the difference between a nuclear bomb and a hydrogen bomb? To understand this, we need to know a bit of simple science. An atomic bomb, which we commonly refer to as a nuclear bomb, works on the principle of fission. In this, large atoms like uranium or plutonium are split and skip. When these atoms split, one tremendous energy is released, whereas a hydrogen bomb works on the principle of fusion, in which light atoms, particularly two different hydrogen atoms, are combined to form helium. This process of combining requires so much heat that an atomic bomb explosion is needed to initiate it. Yes, inside a hydrogen bomb there is a small nuclear bomb that starts the fusion process, and then the real devastation occurs. Inside a hydrogen bomb, there is initially a regular atomic bomb that generates immense heat and pressure. This heat and pressure cause the hydrogen atoms to start fusing together. When these atoms fuse, fusion occurs, releasing an enormous amount of energy, light and radiation. This energy can burn cities to ashes several kilometers away. The most dangerous aspect of a hydrogen bomb is that it not only causes an explosion, but its effects can persist for decades through radiation in the air, water, and soil. The very first test of a hydrogen bomb was conducted by the United States. But the Soviet Union could not just sit idly by and watch all this. The Tsar Bomba is the most powerful weapon created by the Soviet Union. In 1961, during the height of the Cold War, the Soviet Union detonated the Tsar Bomba in the Arctic Circle. The Tsar Bomba weighed 50 megatons, and the explosion it caused was 3,333 times more powerful than the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. This was the most powerful explosion ever conducted by humans on Earth. Russia kept the video of this explosion hidden from the world. But on August 20th, Rosatom, the Russian nuclear agency, finally released the video on its 75th anniversary. In this video, it can be seen that a terrifying sound occurs with the explosion, and a massive fireball and radiation rise into the sky, continuing to ascend for 40 seconds. And it rises above the clouds and then dissipates into those very clouds. Mibdom. According to the report, the explosion was so intense that the cameramen faced significant difficulty in filming and capturing images of it, even though they were standing hundreds of miles away from the explosion site. The explosion from the Tsar Bomba had a magnitude of 50 million tons. The cameramen set their cameras to low light mode to capture the effects of the explosion, so they wouldn't go blind. The cameraman who was closest to the explosion site was on a warship, 100 miles away from the site. In his video, it can be seen that the fireball and radiation from the explosion rise hundreds of meters above the clouds. This fireball reached an altitude of 213,000 feet in the sky, which is 6 times higher than the highest flight of a passenger plane. Friends, when the two major world powers have already tested the hydrogen bomb, how could China stay behind? Recently, China has also conducted a hydrogen bomb test, but this hydrogen bomb is different from the rest of the world's hydrogen bombs. It is a non-nuclear hydrogen bomb. Chinese scientists have claimed to have developed a new bomb that is not a nuclear weapon, EQ, but its destructive power is many times greater than conventional explosives like TNT. This bomb weighs only 2 kilograms, yet it has the capability to generate intense heat and fire. It is based on a special powder called magnesium hydride, which safely stores hydrogen gas. When the bomb detonates, an initial small explosion first breaks the powder into tiny particles. These particles then immediately release hydrogen gas, which instantly ignites. The intensity of this fire is so high that it creates a fireball, hotter than 1000 degrees Celsius. A typical bomb produces light for only a moment, approximately 0.12 seconds. But this bomb approximately burns for up to 2 seconds. That is, it lasts 15 times longer. This fire is so intense and hot that it can easily melt metal. This is why it is being called a new generation non-nuclear thermal weapon instead of a nuclear bomb. It has an effect somewhat similar to a napalm bomb or thermobaric weapon, which are used to burn the enemy or render an area unusable. This bomb is developed by a famous Chinese research institute, China State Shipbuilding Corporation, and was developed by operation scientists who typically create underwater weapons. Scientists say that hydrogen gas ignites easily and spreads rapidly, which can cause widespread destruction over large areas. Although the explosive pressure of this bomb is less than TNTR, only about 40%, its heat and prolonged burning characteristics make it more dangerous. This bomb is designed to target enemy bunkers and vehicles and can melt defensive installations like a blowtorch. This weapon creates a thermal chain reaction, meaning it continues to burn as long as there is fuel and thus can be used to make an area uninhabitable or unusable for some time. China has also built a large plant for producing magnesium hydride for this purpose, capable of producing 150 tons of material annually, which was previously only made in small laboratories. Since this bomb is not nuclear, it is not subject to international bans, and China can present it to the world. Experts say that this bomb could bring a new twist to future battlefields, especially at a time when reliance on drones, vehicles, and electronics is increasing. Friends, speaking of Pakistan, it successfully conducted nuclear tests in 1998 and has since become a recognized nuclear power. However, the hydrogen bomb is a different and very complex technology, which is not only difficult to work on but also very expensive. Pakistan has never openly stated that it is working on a hydrogen bomb, nor has any confirmed information about this emerged on the international level. However, experts believe that since Pakistan has an active nuclear program and wants to maintain a balance against adversaries like India in terms of defense, it is possible that Pakistan might be secretly researching the hydrogen bomb. India claimed to have conducted a thermonuclear explosion in its 1998 tests, although many foreign experts have questioned this claim. If Pakistan is working on a hydrogen bomb, it could be part of Pakistan's defensive strategy. It could be part of Pakistan's defensive strategy so that the balance of power in the region remains intact. However, since such programs are secretive, it is not possible to say anything definitively. Friends, it is clear that the battlefield is rapidly changing. War is no longer limited to tanks and artillery. New inventions, especially non-nuclear but highly destructive weapons, can affect the global balance of power. Although these weapons are not nuclear, their impact or sign of fire, heat, and destruction can be similar to that of a nuclear weapon. In the future, the use of such weapons will raise questions about global security. That's all for now. I hope you liked this video. I will meet you with a new and interesting video.